In the early 1980s, when I went to university, the big stories were Japan and China. China, under Deng Xiaoping, had just opened its economy ever so slightly with these free economic zones. And so I studied also the China open door economic policy thesis and whether China would indeed rise one day and emulate Japan or not. We now have a different form of globalization where it's still going on in the areas where it's tolerated, and it's becoming highly controlled and impacted by industrial policy in the areas where now vulnerabilities have been identified. You still have China, which builds manufacturing capacity at 5 times the potential domestic demand. So all of that capacity needs to be sold somewhere. I was a sort of first foreign BOJ watcher. I was very close to BOJ policy at that time. And so I was in constant contact with the Bank of Japan during the 90s when they were struggling through all of the trial and error to try to address this deflation that wouldn't go away. If you think of the top 5 largest economies in the world and you look at their sphere of influence, Japan has one of the most difficult ones. So China has ended up with a worse set of overinvestment and inventory overhang and broader geographic footprint for the real estate problem than Japan had. And it will be working through this for the next 5 or 10 years. I just don't think people can appreciate how little critical press is available on China. I really don't know whether China will ever take that dramatic step, but I do know that it won't succeed unless it does. It has to have an open capital account in order to recover from this deflationary episode that it's into. The view at the moment that the Fed and even the Bank of England and a couple of other central banks around the world are making monetary policy mistakes that are going to cause a reversal of interest rate policies next year. So I think in that environment, another inflation episode like we had in 22-23 will also be a tailwind for the dollar. I think the dollar moving higher in this environment should result in a much more intelligent portfolio construction.